myself to what has been said before from Mr. Dordain and from my previous speakers. The Earth Observation Program at ESA and the contribution of the Commission is, of course, huge. There is a big budget attached to it. We heard about, let's say, this budget is big because there is a scientific side to be funded and also a preparation for services. And we heard that there is a leg on the servicing side, which, by the way, is going quite well. The situation is very clear. It's the meteorological part, both at LEO and from GEO. And then there is GMS, and we are interrogating ourselves how to make it sustainable. Now, the question is really why the service part that is associated with meteorological services appears to be on a good footing. We are talking about a large amount of money, equally large amount of money. MTG is a big activity, and METOP second generation is equally a big program. I don't hear problem, I mean, there are not so evident problem of sustainability. So I think to understand the situation and the issue of GMS, we should interrogate ourselves of what is the difference. Now, the difference to me between the meteorological part and the more global monitoring and environmental part is that, and again, this is my reflection, the services are not equally matured. That's really the key issue. Why, I mean, I'm exaggerating a bit, member states are rushing to fund METOP second generation, and there is a big political, so to speak, confusion how to sustain GMS. In the first case, you got EUMETSAT, which is a clear, committed operator with clear services which are mature, and all of a sudden there is no problem. I mean, then the real problem to make sustainable is not so much to interrogate ourselves, should we restrict the data distribution, should we make it more open? I mean, the side to look at the story is why the services are not maturing with the speed and with the importance that we expect. This is a real key issue. And I think the Commission has a responsibility. I mean, I believe that the Commission here should work to push so that the services become mature, that there is an anchor tenant which is prepared to take over the operational side with continuity, with long-term commitment. It's not only a responsibility of the Commission, of course, this is also industry and service providers that do their part. So this is really the key of the story, not the lack of funding or the fact that politica is very complex. The question is why services are not getting mature.
Mr. Roberto Rossetti, thank you very much for you have a listing of the speakers there. Perhaps, yes, Nicolas Vincent, Director of Business Unit Geoinformation at Espace in Toulouse. You would like to add something?
Yeah, I would like to add something, because in fact, when we want to market geoinformation services, we have to face different difficulties. And in fact, what the challenge we have today is the same challenge as we faced 20, 30 years ago with the telecom services, where we started to be very space-centric, to say we have the solution, don't worry, space, satellite, we will bring you the solution. But finally, as Mr. Malongo said, the non-space technology are not waiting for space, and they are evolving, and the terrestrial solution bring better and better solution at lower cost and so on. And finally, if today the telecom satellite services are successful, it's because they found a way to define the real services, the real added value, not most of the case not alone, but as only a built-in block of the total service. And today you don't care as a user if it comes from satellite, if it comes from terrestrial or other technologies. And today for geoinformation, we face the same. We have to consider that there are other solutions than space. For certain services which were not killing application, we have already identified, in case of a disaster, we have to make rapid mapping. We can make a good survey of maritime thanks to satellite, and it is the best solution of today. But when we are talking about LAN application and so on, the need to have GMS is very important, but it's not sufficient. We have to work with users, end users, we have to work with other technology providers, service providers, so that at the end, the space service brings the building block that can cover part of the game, and then can enrich existing services or create new services. And it's a challenge for us not to be only space-centric, but to be open to other technology and to work with the end user so that we can build this kind of services. It's not so easy, and when you have to face and to explain what is imagery in radar, in optical, and so on, it's not so easy. And also, we have other solutions that can complete. Today, more and more, we are talking about UAV, and UAV can be a solution also to have a certain continuity of services and so on. And the challenge we are facing, as Roberto was saying, is to be able to be sustainable, to guarantee a certain service quality, whatever the evolution of GMAS, whatever the evolution, we do not have any more on this app, but we have other solutions. So we need to have a service vision, global vision, in order to consider the market not as a satellite market, but as a service market, which is very complex. But we can succeed, we have succeeded in telecom. I don't see why we will not succeed in geoinformation.
Thank you, Mr. Vincent. As we know, Thales Alenia is a major player in GMES. Joan Junet, what is your view? What's the best economic model to make the service data available?
That's I think if I had the question, I would not be there. I would be in a startup doing a lot of business and so on. So just let me give you a few comments. We discussed on Envisat, Dordain said some word on Envisat. Just remember at the beginning of Envisat, the ground segment was not very user-friendly, at least. And we deliver a lot of data. Remember, Melis, for example, was a beautiful instrument, beautiful data, and so on. They were not distributed to the research community on a very good way. And at the same time, we discovered that the research community go through internet to bodies, and they don't use Melis.